Hey, a pleasant good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. This is just going to be a quick live that I do to go over the games and everything of the day and talk about some news of the day. I will wait for a couple people to hop in before we do such. Some just joined. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. If you have a question, you can submit it. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about the games of the day. The Lehigh Valley Phantoms were able to make a great comeback in their first game. Fitch was able to score in his first game as well as Wyatt Wiley scored in his first game. It was great to see that. I'm also big on our show's going to include AHL talk too because I do love watching the minors as well as NHL talk. Just so people know, right now is score updates. I'll give score updates across the AHL because I have that app open first. It's 3-1 Iowa over Texas. 5-1 Syracuse is definitely going to beat the Utica Comets. 4-2 the Seagulls over Bakersfield makes sense. And then these other games, the one game didn't happen yet. It's between the Vegas's team, so that's tonight, I believe, in an hour. And then the other game was 5-4. The Chicago Wolves won against Rockford, I believe, is that team name. So that was very fun to watch the Phantoms, the end of the game. We were playing hockey today, roller hockey. So I got to catch the end of the game. And it was really fun to be able to catch the end of the game there and see the Phantoms come back and see Fitzy score in his first game. That was great to see. Now, as for the NHL and their updates, as I'm looking up the app, we can talk about the Sixers. I'll give you a Sixers update. The score right now, I have it on a stream, so it's a little behind Pride, but it's about the 10-minute mark, 10:40 mark on mine. 64-61, the Sixers are up. Hopefully they're able to close this out. It'll be a good win if they're able to get a win, a big dub against Brooklyn. Steph Curry shoots the three and drills it. Or Seth Curry shoots the three and drills it. I wish we had Steph and Seth. But he definitely has been looking good. I think that was a great pickup. I think the Sixers should also trade for JJ Redick. Bring JJ back. We have better guys to kick it out to him. I know he's struggling a bit from three this year, but I think that's because Zion's the only baller that can really kick it out to him and draw the defense down below. Steven Adams does not draw your defense down below into the paint. That's just not who he is. Also, whoever's in here, if you want to message, let me know who you are and ask a question, you're more than welcome to. Right now in the NHL, we have the New York Islanders are beating the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3 with 2:22 to go in the third. The Maple Leafs are demolishing the Vancouver Canucks 5-0 with about 10 minutes left. Then at the nightcap, we have the Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames. That'll be a good game. San Jose and Anaheim, which is definitely a fade game. I mean, that's a game between two struggling teams. And then obviously Colorado, St. Louis, Arizona, Minnesota. Those games have been unfortunately postponed due to COVID regulations. And the Coyotes somehow again, beat the Blues. The Blues, this is pathetic, honestly. Like the Coyotes have guys that play well on their team, but they were a team that was supposed to struggle this year. Blues are supposed to be one of the better teams, and they lay an egg back-to-back games against the Arizona Coyotes. If you're a Blues fan and you're the St. Louis Blues, there is absolutely no reason for that and no excuse for that. You can't lay an egg and just against a defensive team too. Like it's the Coyotes do have guys. Like I said, they can put the puck in the net, but normally the most goals they score is three. And the Blues have a more efficient offense. They even in a 3-game should be able to score 4 goals. If they are able to get the pressure they have because of the players. Now, they added Mike Hoffman to a team that was already pretty good offensively, who's a straight up sniper. So there was absolutely no excuse for the Blues struggling as much as they have. And now we'll go to the NBA as we'll give NBA score updates. The NBA has. Hold on. Gotta get the app all loaded back up again. Because I got a new phone here. The NBA scores are We have the Toronto Raptors are losing to the Atlanta Hawks 66-63. 83-62 Thunder are leading the Timberwolves. 51-47 Spurs are leading the Houston Rockets. That would be a nice win for San Antonio, even though the Rockets aren't what they used to be. Beating the Rockets would still be a pretty nice win for the Spurs. Milwaukee against Cleveland, 61-54 Milwaukee. Golden State against Dallas is 45-38 Dallas right now. Nice. New Orleans against Memphis is 10-6 early on, 7:48 in the first, 10-6 Pelicans. And then Detroit and the Lakers show play tonight. Obviously, the Lakers should be able to hold Detroit. They only have 5 wins this season. That should be a good, easy win for the Lakers show. And then in final scores, New York Knicks upset the well, I don't know if it's an upset. They're 11-13 and 12-10 for their team, but they were able to get the win over Portland, which is at least considered, I would say, a mini upset. But if you go by record, wouldn't be. And then if you have the Kings that won 119-114, the Bulls killed the Magic. After Vooch went off last night, it had 42 points. Great game by him last night. 118-92. The Bulls were able to beat the Magic. Now we can get into what this video is mainly about, which is previewing tomorrow's affair for the Flyers, which is a game that they really have to bounce back against a good Capitals team. This Capitals team persevered through literally just pure stupidity. The Russians on the team just decided to meet in their hotel when they knew they clearly were in violation of regulations. And the Capitals persevered through that because Vitek Vanacek won the Rookie of the Month. Looks great in net. Copley's a pretty solid goalie in the minors as well. He was the AHL. He's the reason why the Phantoms were not able to win. Or not win, not able to score until the end, and they had to win with scoring a goal with 40-some seconds left, and then they scored a goal later on in overtime, like I said, by Fitzy. That's the biggest reason they weren't able to score otherwise. Phoenix Copley's a guy that's definitely at least a third stringer in the NHL, so when you're a guy that can hold your own in the NHL, you're probably going to own the AHL. So that's what we saw today. But I think Mac also looked good. Zay McIntyre for the Phantoms in goal as well. They just had to get some late goals in order to help him out and actually get him a win that I think he very much deserved from how he played in his first game. I think he looked very good, and I think that's something I definitely forgot to shout out and something I definitely should have shouted out. So I definitely just wanted to shout him out as well as Wiley and Fitzgerald, who were the goal scorers. Now we can just close out by talking about the fact the Flyers need to limit Washington on the power play. Just like the Bees, the Killer Bees, which is their power play, that's Washington. Put them on the power play. They've been doing the same thing for years. They pitch puck around, find a way to get to Ovechkin or Backstrom scores, or now you got Kuzi that scored, whatever. They always find a way for that team when you're on the power play. You cannot put them on the power play. And then the other key to the game is Carter Hart's supposed to be back. So Carter Hart, I think, is going to have a big game, and that's going to be huge in order for us to win this game. If we're going to win this game, it's going to have to be a good game by Hart because the Capitals are definitely going to bring some pressure against our defense, especially if Philippe Myers is still injured. So that's not going to work. So we're going to have to see what happens there. It's not going to work if Myers is still injured, but, who knows? Then the third key is the top lines playing significantly better, where the bottom six, other than a couple bad penalties in the last couple games taken by Scott Laughton, has looked up pretty solid. And then some of the top six guys the last couple games we lost against the Bruins just did not look themselves. So we're going to have to see those guys step up a lot more. We're going to see the defense step up a lot more, Hart do his thing, and then we're going to have to keep Washington off the power play. Those are the keys to winning that game. Now, as for the Super Bowl, the keys I already said yesterday to winning that game are the Chiefs, who were able to get pressure. One of the only teams that got significant pressure on Tom Brady in the regular season. And I think if they're able to do that again with their slightly better defense than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who stink at passing defense, is ranked 21st. And I think that's going to bite them in the butt against Patrick Mahomes. And we know Mahomes, yeah, if you get pressure on him, he's going to falter a bit like any quarterback does, but he can also fly like lightning running. Where Tom Brady, if you get pressure on Brady, he's not going to run out there like lightning. So, I mean, he's going to get sacked. And Brady, I can't blame him. He's 43 years old. But Brady, once you get pressure on him, is not a good graded quarterback. Otherwise, he's still amazing. He threw 40 freaking touchdowns this year. So, the keys to that game for the team I think that's going to win is the Kansas City Chiefs are playing their game. It's the defense stepping up, getting the pressure on Brady. We're getting the regular season. And then it is also obviously the normal offensive folks, Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and the likes, all stepping up around Patrick Mahomes. You can't have an off game in the Super Bowl. You have to have your big day be one of your biggest days statistically as well. And I think that's what's going to happen for the Chiefs defensively and offensively. And that is why I think they are going to win tomorrow's ball game. But also tomorrow, we do have a great docket of NHL games that lead us into the Super Bowl. I mean, that to me, you can't ask for anything better. Get to watch hockey all day, then we get to watch the Super Bowl. You got the Flyers, obviously Washington, Detroit, and Florida. Florida's going to destroy them. Carolina and Columbus, that'll be an interesting game. Dallas and Chicago will be an interesting game. That Lankinen kid is a beast. Kings and Golden Knights. I thought the Kings would do better than the Golden Knights yesterday, but that didn't happen because they've been a very battle-hungry team with guys this year. They kind of been like Chicago and just haven't been able to get to 500 like Chicago is at 4-4-4. But, yeah, I mean, that's a game that I think is going to be a pretty good game too. So we got the 1:12 o'clock game and the rest are during the 3 o'clock hours that they get in before the Super Bowl. And that is our action of NHL hockey tomorrow. So that'll be great to be able to watch before the Super Bowl, get some NHL action in here and really enjoy all the hockey games leading up to the Super Bowl. Right now is a score update. The Sixers are up 76-73. Oh, wait a minute. Freeval just tied it by Landry Shamet. Former Sixers Shamet tied the game. So now it's tied with 6:15 left at 76. 76ers tied at 76. How about that? Now you got Tobias shooting a crazy shot and somehow getting it to go over James Harden. That was interesting. But hey, what's going on, NHL Hockey News Reports? I'm only going to be on here a couple more minutes. This was just a quick live to talk about the Super Bowl, the fact that my Phantoms NHL or AHL team, won on a late comeback on Phoenix Copley, who played like a bat out of hell, honestly, in net. And McIntyre did too. Zany. Mac did good, and he deserved the win. They were able to score Wyatt Wiley at the end there, as well as Ryan Fitzgerald, Fitzy, was able to win it in overtime in his first game with the Phantoms. Great to see that. The Sens. Yeah, I mean, they are the young, scrappy. I mean, they have young talent on their team. They're just not there yet, and part of that is also because performances in net have not been good, to say the least. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. I was going to say you guys did win. I know you got outshot by 3. I think you guys are going to be fine still. I think everybody has that kind of scrappy team that they always struggle with. I mean, no matter how good Florida is, Columbus just seems to always battle and never get a great easy game against them, no matter how good Columbus is and how off Florida is that season. That's still always the case there, just as one example. But yeah, I think the centers, Stutzla, Brandstrom, he looks like the real deal already coming up. So I think they're going to be good. They just need to be patient, obviously. And that's really what I have to say about them. I think they're a team that's actually enjoyable to watch in terms of watching Stutzla, Shabbat, and also I've always liked Josh Norris, really, how he's coming up. Batherson's a guy that I've always liked as well. So there's a lot of players I like. I just hate their owner. That's the only thing about the Senators. I don't like their owner, but I like a lot of guys on the team. But unless if anybody had any other questions, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here to go back to watching Sixers games and a couple of the games on the NHL docket. Maybe I'll be able to come back on tomorrow before the Super Bowl and we can do a preview. I know I'm going to do a Flyers post-game reaction after the game, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully it'll be a big W tomorrow leading into the Super Bowl to make us very happy going into the Super Bowl as our Flyers beat the Washington Capitals, and then we get to watch a great Super Bowl. That should be a great offensive performance. The rain's supposed to be out of the area by then. Should be a great offensive performance, and I can't wait. So everybody have a great, safe, and pleasant night. Thank you, Hockey News Reports, for joining. I'm assuming Dubs is probably the other guy that did join. I'm not sure because whoever it was didn't message in the group. But have a great, safe, and pleasant day, everyone. This has been the Sports Fanatic News Sportscast in the stripped down version. I didn't put on a regular thing for this. And then good night, NHL Hockey News Reports. Have a great, safe, and pleasant night, everybody. Enjoy the Super Bowl and enjoy some hockey. Enjoy some Sixers basketball. Hopefully the Sixers can get a win tonight. Peace out, everybody.